What's up, guys? It's been about a month since our last video. Just gonna give you a little shop update, what's going on. Rusty's car behind us, we've had it for a long time, but here we have the roll bar finally after about 8 months ordering this thing. This is a hydro dipped show car kind of roll bar that we're going to put in this thing. So it's going to be going in here in probably the next week or so, but glad to finally have that. That's the finishing piece for this build, and it will be done and ready to put in the trailer and take it back to Rusty, the customer. So got a couple other things going on. One thing we just finished that this whole video is kind of about, but I'll just kind of give you an overview of everything that's going on, because it'll probably be a while before I do another video the way things have been going. But this is Patrick Mears Trans Am. He's from Florida. I've done a little video kind of update on the car, but we have started doing, this is most of the bars from our 25.5 high and tight that we sell on our website, and we've got these in here. I think we're doing 25.3 on this car, which we'll have to change a couple bars, add some more gussets, you know, nothing major, but because he's keeping the OEM floor and a few things, that makes it easier, because we don't have to do a lot of the floor structure required as long as we keep that OEM floor intact for the 25.3. So we just got the motor plates and stuff done in it. Got these sweet tower bars. Check out this, how nice those are Frenched in. Joey really took a lot of time sanding and Frenching those into the towers, and they really did come out nice. So this is again our kit that we sell online. It comes with these tubes and these tubes. You just trim them to fit, and if you take your time, they can look like this. But got his engine set in here, found out the motor plate's gonna be trimmed some for the headers that he provided. Got this Sean's Custom Alloy intake, which is awesome. Most of the front end kit's done. I did a little video that showed that in my little instruction video. We've got the metal bar out because we're gonna get the rest of the stuff put on the front, and I can start fabricating the turbo stuff. But speaking of turbo stuff, the purpose of this video is to show off a turbo build that we just finished. And behind me we have Jordan Smith's Odd Money Mustang. I just finished this up today, and I'll just pop the hood here and give you some brief details of it. Turn the fan off behind me because it's kind of loud, so I'm gonna make the video quick because it's freaking hot in here. So when he brought us this car, normally when somebody brings us a car for a turbo build, I'll look at it, and right off the bat I've kind of got a plan of what I want it to look like. And I know that's kind of a selfish way to look at things, but most of the time customers don't know what they want. They just want it to look awesome, and I like everything to look kind of in a way that I think is really bold and really, you know, stands out, the way it's laid out and how clean it looks. And this is exactly what I had in mind whenever he dropped the car off, you know, the first 5 minutes looking at the car. So how I was going to get there was another thing. So I'll just worry about that later. But it all worked out really well. You can see it's packaged in there really good. Nothing's really crowded. Everything's open. That's the good thing about a Mustang in general, is that the way everything's laid out, even with these cars, you know, the way the headlights come out, the way the headlights are supported, everything's just super easy with these cars compared to like an F-body or some of the other cars. They've got some, you know, things that are kind of irritating to figure out, but Mustangs are really easy. So first of all, we used our universal tubular front kit. We cut the front off this car, and this is our front kit that you see online for the 79 to 04. You can see the basic layout here. Now the radiator hoop on the bottom, I changed that a little bit because of this huge intercooler. I think this is a shear fab, 6-inch. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that was what the sticker said when they brought everything. They brought the turbo, the intercooler, turbo components and stuff, and I figured out all the rest. They brought a lot of stuff with this car. But this is our universal tubular front kit, like I was saying, for the 79 to 04. And you can see how it lines up with this just like it does the Fox body. Now, a lot of people are questioning this top bar that normally goes right here for the upper radiator support that comes with the kit. You don't have to use that on this car. These cars, they have a headlight tray or bezel or whatever you want to call it that goes all the way across the car, this plastic piece. And it incorporates the grille and stuff normally factory, which I cut that out. But the good thing about that is you see these little 3/4 inch bent pieces. This is what can be cut out of that top bar that would normally go right here on the Mustang, and you can use it and weld. I literally just welded it to the original bracket that was on this. This is the factory bracket. I just cut it right there and welded it to this tube, and everything is, you don't get no more solid than that. So super easy on the newer Mustang and the new Edge cars like this to get that figured out. Now, of course, if you're standing up a radiator or something, you'll have to figure out a way to support it and stuff, which normally people are doing it from the side and stuff anyway. But I just wanted to explain that a little bit on how easy it is to adapt that top bar to the newer model cars, where the top bar was originally designed for the Fox body to catch those two little spots where the 90-degree brackets are on the bumper. With these, you don't have to do that. Just cut the bar up, use the bends right there, and you're good to go. So back to the turbo kit. We didn't want to try to use that radiator that he provided. He had a couple fans and this radiator in it, but like I said, getting back to the way I wanted this kit to look, it wasn't going to work out. So Champion here has a drag race radiator, really nice unit. They even polish it, which that really didn't matter to me, but they've got a huge fan on it. It's got a shroud already welded to it, got ORB fittings that you can, you know, put a hose ORB straight to it without having to put a like a nut style on it. Just a really nice unit, and it was going to package in there perfectly the way we measured, and it did. So that worked out. The turbo, of course, always supported by a Maven turbo support. This is a Jose Garrett based turbo. I think it's an 88. We've got race part solutions, dual seals on every single connection, which that's going to be fun whenever they try to take that thing apart and put it back together. Don't get me wrong, I love the dual seals. I've got them on my own car, but they just suck until they get broke in to take on and off. It just, sometimes the O-ring will roll a little bit, and that's the thing. If the O-ring starts to roll when you're sliding that sleeve on there, that's where it screws you up. That's where it makes it so hard to get on. If that O-ring stays completely still, you know, you can Vaseline it, do whatever, but once it gets a little stretchy to it and tries to roll up, you're not getting that thing pushed on. So a little trick I do is, which I've not got one here to show you, but I take the end of a wooden, like a hammer, get a little hammer like that, use the wooden edge and hold one side of the ring and push the other side that's struggling to go on with that wooden piece of the hammer. The wood won't mess up the aluminum, and you can push really hard without slipping and hitting your hand or whatever. So that's just one of the things I do. Another thing we use, he's got air catch hood latches. We made some little standoffs off the tubes here to catch those in the original location he had it. Aluminum downpipes. He wanted a titanium tip. I'll jack it up a little bit and show you this thing. So when he dropped the car off, this is what I did for Jonathan on his titanium. I blued just the tip, and that's what Jordan wanted. Really, Jordan wanted the entire thing blued, but I don't have a torch big enough to get the thing heated evenly to comfortably blue the whole thing without making it look like a hot mess. So I told him he could let somebody else do that or attempt that. This is pretty thick. This is 079. This is not paper thin titanium. The 079 is what you have to get when you get a really tight 5-inch elbow like that. But got him a new trim ring. He had an aluminum one on there for a 4-inch. We got him a bigger one for 5-inch and kind of covered up some messed up melted parts of this bumper here. Going underneath, we played snakes with the pipes a little bit to get them curled around. The wastegates are huge. I think they're 60s. So waited till very last to put those on, just because I didn't know where I was going to put them. Got gussets on all of them, just like always. You can see I put a fitting on the bottom of the radiator here, because this is where the radiator is going to fill up. This doesn't have a pressure cap on it. The pressure cap is up here on this expansion tank, so it'll come out of the bottom, fill the radiator up here, and then you can see the little nipple coming out of the side of the tank. That is where his steam port will go into, and as he fills the system up, it will bleed the air out to the very top side and keep air from being trapped in the engine. But his tip, he can rotate here. It goes from 11 gauge aluminum to titanium. Again, he said show car stuff is what he wants, so that's what we gave him. So looking in here from the side a little bit, see how the downpipe kind of flows around. We've got a streetcar fabrication billet flange. It's a dual 3-inch inlet T6. We always use the streetcar flanges whenever we do turbo builds. See, that's where he puts his coolant in. And got it run to the bottom just because I didn't want to crowd the top of the radiator with a bunch of hoses. He's already got these two that's going to come off the water pump, and I didn't think he needed any more up top here, so that's why we put it at the bottom. I think he's using the Flowtech headers or whatever. I mean, they're cheap, but they work good. A lot of people use them. Again, Mustang's kind of easy because you don't have to worry about steering shaft clearance. You don't have to worry about none of that. Just put everything in there and go. But I'm kind of jealous. This thing looks pretty rowdy. I think if I had my choice to buy a Mustang, it would definitely be one of these body styles, and I would do exactly this to it. This kind of how I am whenever I do setups like this, is I do something that I would want if I had the car personally, because even though it's not my car, and even though they're going to be out, you know, wherever with it, I'm still proud of it like it is mine, because I kind of laid everything out like it was mine. So that's that. That's your shop update. The Jeep, Jonathan's car, I'll talk about that for just 5 seconds here. So the main thing we're waiting on the Jeep is the front strut stuff. TBM didn't offer like a package deal with their front brakes and the struts we wanted and all that stuff, so we've been working with Eric Yost at Custom by Biggin, and he was able to put all the right numbers together and stuff and get us what we want. So we've got the TBM brakes over here for the front. We're not going to be running the wheels that's on it. We've got spindle mount wheels Demon's got ordered for it. We've got the struts here, and we've got the other parts on the way. So hopefully when we get all that here, we can start building the front control arms, and this thing can actually roll instead of being propped up on an I-beam and dollies on the front. Jonathan's car, he did bring us the engine. This is the mock-up engine. This is the Gen 5 LT1 that's going to be in the Ripper. We've got the motor plate for it. We've got a mid plate also. This is Texas Speed's intake. And got Motion Raceworks billet valve covers, but it's here, so we got to get it mocked up in the car, get the transmission hooked to it, and get all that laid out. So that's where we're at on that. We also have a Grand National that's supposed to be dropped off after we get Jordan's out of here, after we get Rusty's cage put in. I'm going to have that dropped off. We're doing an 850 cage in it from Moore race chassis. We've got it laying in the back. So a lot of stuff going on. I've also got my other business, my land management or whatever business that I'm doing on the side. I sometimes stay on a couple days a week doing that. I just recently cleared a couple acres in the middle of the woods for one of my friends. You know, I had a solid week in that with the machines I had, taking down the trees, burning all the brush, getting it cleared off, you know, down to where it was clean enough to sow grass. So just trying to juggle that and the stuff here, and I'm pulled a bunch of ways. That's why the videos aren't getting made like they was, because I'm not here as much. So I am here, but when I am here, it's run, and then I'm back out the door. So thanks for watching. I'll try to update you more, especially as we get, you know, closer on Patrick's behind me. When we get the rolling on the turbo setup on the front, you know, all the fun stuff, and I'll do just an overview of the whole car again, probably whenever we get to that point. So thank you guys for watching. Sorry it took so long between videos, but I'll do my best to bring you some more material. rock-solid-motorsports.com. Keep checking out our website. You know, we do have some new things coming up on the horizon. Just trying to chip away at it and see where we can get. So thanks for watching. See you guys.